Hi, I'm Steve Arterburn, and welcome to the 7-Minute Marriage Solution. I'm really hoping that this particular project can change marriages for the good. If you look at the statistics, one of the worst statistics I've seen is that about 48.5% of kids today will be raised in a home where there has been no divorce, where both original biological parents are still living there with them by the time they graduate from high school. Well, that's a pretty tough statistic, and I want to make a dent in that. But I also want to do something to help those folks who you would say are married, will never divorce, but they're absolutely miserable. And so I want to bring new life and vitality, sexual energy, romance, all of those things back to those marriages. And I'm really glad that you've decided to use this book and to use this time to go a little bit deeper or a little bit wider, hopefully in a group session with some other people or with your spouse, or maybe just you using that study guide to grow on your own. But what I want to do is I want to try to provide some wisdom too. The knowledge that a tomato is fruit is a really good thing to know. But wisdom is knowing not to put a tomato in a fruit salad. There's a difference between knowledge and being able to apply that in a way that is wise and life-changing. And one of the things that I hope that you'll notice in this project is that, I have some ideas. The ideas are based on a study. But many times the ideas for fixing a marriage, like the 7 things to stop and the 7 things to start, sometimes they don't work. And so if you look at the end of each chapter, there are 7 things to do if your spouse doesn't respond to that need or that particular issue. So I hope that that's going to bring you great hope. Many times you have sought help probably for your situation if it's really tough. Others, you've just maybe you want a better marriage. Well, one of my favorite verses is Jeremiah 6:14, where it says that they are applying superficial treatments to my people's deepest wounds. Many times you haven't been helped because the treatment has been too superficial. And I want to provide something for you that's going to go deep and help you address the foundation and some of the cracks in the foundation of your marriage so that you can come out on the other end of this experience with a marriage that has hope, that has a trajectory towards something that you've been looking forward to or wished for many parts of your life. Well, let's get started. And the very first thing that our survey revealed, that if a person stopped this immediately, it would greatly help their marriage, their situation. And that is to stop having these unrealistic expectations, to stop clinging to the unrealistic expectations that are there. Probably the biggest wall that some people have to tear down to experience the kind of marriage they want is the wall of arrogant entitlement. We go into marriage with such high expectations, and then we eat a little bit of wedding cake, and it seems like that all of those things that we wanted or hoped for just aren't there. Or we expected that this person was going to fix or cure all the things that were wrong with us, and it just doesn't happen. And many times we become arrogantly entitled. Maybe for a woman, you were daddy's little girl, and he just gave you everything, and you're expecting your husband to do the same. Or maybe he gave you nothing, and you're expecting your husband to do all of the work that dad didn't do. Maybe you're a man and your mother just took care of everything for you, and that's what you were expecting from a wife. It's actually as if you had latched on to a role that you wanted in your life versus a person. Well, when we start to be realistic about our expectations, a marriage starts to change. Because as you remove unrealistic expectations, when you stop clinging to those things that you thought you were entitled to, the pressure and the stress and the energy, the negative energy in a relationship starts to subside. So as you look at this material, be thinking, what is it that I expected of this person? What was it that was unrealistic of me to want from her or from him? What is it that I could kind of take a second look at and realize that it's not their deficiency, but it's my entitlement that needs to be worked on? And that'll be a theme that you'll see throughout. It's not what can you do to fix that other person, but what can you do to work on your side of the street. That's where we'll spend our time. So I hope that you'll take some time and get deeply involved in discussion and or study of how is it that I can let go of unrealistic expectations.